I'm not playing on fears. I'm playing on common sense.
Our enemies are plotting against us.
Enemies who are hell-bent on destroying us.
Terrorists who are going to come to Western Europe and come here and kill us.
This is the last stand on Earth.
Killing us and our allies.
UNICEF has condemned the killing of children by U.S.-led airstrikes in northern Syria over the past few days.
I think Obama's trying to match Nixon's madman theory when it comes to bombing the heck out of a location, right? I mean, Nixon was notorious for these mass bombings of cities and whatnot during the Vietnam War.
Now, I mean, think about this. We have managed to come up with two people here on the Republican and the Democratic side that a majority of Americans don't like and even worse, don't trust. I mean, how does that happen? I mean, it seems to me that the main appeal of both candidates now is that they're not the other candidate.
The fuss over the current RNC and next week's DNC has put the mainstream media into a stupor, the kind of stupor that allows it to continually ignore the other options Americans have when it comes to the 2016 presidential election, like Jill Stein of the Green Party. Jill's currently surging in national attention, especially due to Bernie Sanders' embrace of the Hillary campaign.
Because never before have we seen such a wave of anti-establishmentism and people clamoring for authenticity. How are you meeting that challenge with voters who might be turning to you?
Well, a lot of voters are turning. In fact, about half of Bernie's supporters have refused to go back into the Democratic Party, into that counter-revolutionary party, and bury the work they've been doing. And so many other Americans, we know half, in fact, more than half of Hillary's supporters don't actually support Hillary.
Yeah.
They're just opposing Trump, and the same is true for Trump supporters. So I am the one candidate in this race that does not take money from lobbyists, from super PACs and PACs. So I actually have the liberty to stand up for what the American people are clamoring for.
The progressive third-party people would in fact get the best response from the audiences. And people would say, yeah, you guys make a lot of sense. And then you go up to them and say, you're going to vote for us? And they say, oh, of course we're not going to vote for you. You can't win. You're going to vote for the Democrat. You're a much better candidate. Everything you're saying is true, but we can't waste our vote. Waste our vote was the expression. So if there's any term that drives me crazy, it's this quote-unquote waste our vote.
If you pull enough support from the left, are you comfortable having that, if that elects Donald Trump president, are you comfortable with that outcome?
I'm not comfortable with Donald Trump as president, and I'm not comfortable with Hillary Clinton as president, and I'm most not comfortable with a political system that gives us two really lethal choices and says, here, pick your weapon of self-destruction. Because all the terrible things that Donald Trump says, Hillary Clinton, in fact, has done in various... So it's really time for transformational change that won't come from two political parties funded by the same usual suspects: predatory banks, fossil fuel giants, war profiteers, pharmaceutical companies, health insurance companies, etc. The usual suspects who are making out like bandits while everyday people are really struggling to get by. So we can fix this with a variety of solutions. I'm the only candidate in this race with the only national political party that is not poisoned by corporate money, by lobbyists, by super PACs. So I have the unique ability in this race to provide the American people the real solutions that people are clamoring for. That is an emergency jobs program that will fix actually the emergency of the climate crisis, health care as a human right, canceling student debt, like we did for the bankers. We bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. It's about time we bailed out the young people who are victims of that waste, fraud, and abuse on Wall Street. We need higher education as essentially for free as a human right, which actually pays for itself. For every dollar we invest as taxpayers, we get back $7 for every dollar we put into this. And we need a foreign policy based on international law and human rights. and forget the lesser evil, stand up and fight for the greater good like our lives depend on it, because they do.